أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم ففهمنا سليمان وكلنا آتينا حكما وعلما رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم سبحانك لم وحنانيك ألم لا تنسني ولا تنسني الحمد لله أفضل الحمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وسائر النبيين والصالحين وسلم أن وفقني واهدني وسددني واجمع لي بين الصواب والثواب وعذني من الخطأ والهرمان آمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to another episode of Questions and Answers. I'm your host, Amjad Muhammad, and I will be with you for the remaining 40 minutes or so up until 8 p.m. UK time. So, it's a first day back for me this week for Questions and Answers. I'm sure my colleague has already been with you on Monday and Tuesday. And the aim is to, any of those queries that we had that need to be answered, then this is your place to call. There is no question long enough, there is no question complicated enough, there is no question that is going to remain unanswered. Even if we say we don't know what the answer is, you will get an answer. How do you get your questions answered? Really simple. The process is you ring 01274 214299. That's 01274 214299. And I repeat, for the sake of barakah, 01274 214299. On the other hand, if you wish to email, and some of you do prefer to email, then the email address is qanda@iqra.tv. Q&A@iqra.tv. One last time, qanda@iqra.tv. Iqra spelled I-Q-R-A. Now that we've got the formalities out of the way, let's dive straight into the questions. As I always say, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, please do get your calls in early, because as you know, few calls later, I'm saying to you, unfortunately now we're running out of time. We're going to go for a short break, or I say we're now running out of time and join me again tomorrow. So don't waste your time, don't hesitate. Pick up that phone, 01274 214299. In the meantime, I'll answer some of the questions that I've already received on my forum, Questions and Answers forum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When taking part in any physical activity, running, football, etc., would it be acceptable to wear shorts and then underneath the shorts wear leg compression sleeves which will cover the remaining aura? Jazakallahu khairan. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. When it comes to the covering of the aura, then it is not just the covering in the sense that you cannot see the skin. It is also the covering so you cannot see the shape. So for the male, the aura is, so this would apply, say, if a woman covered her aura, but covered her aura in tight fitted clothing, then it would be as though she has not covered her aura. The way it would be to cover her aura is in loose garments so as not to be able to determine the shape of the body. Similarly, for the chap between the navel and the knee, or after the navel and including the knee, he has to ensure that is also covered with loose fitting garments. So when it comes to football shorts or shorts generally, if he's going to the gym, if he's involved in a sporting activity, then he should try to ensure that the shorts are long enough so that it covers at least up to his knee, if not include his knee as well. The compression pants underneath, if they were to cover the knee, even if the shorts reach to the top of the knee, then there's some permissibility there, because the knee itself is a sort of a knobbly kind of shape, nothing much desirous of there, so that would be permitted to do. However, as I said, it would be to cover at least all the way up to the thigh, up to the knee, so at least the main part of the aura is concealed in loose fitting garments. Anyway, somebody has heeded my message and heeded my calls and made a call on 01274 214299. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear caller.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. How you doing, Mufti? You good, yeah?
I'm very well, thank you, young man. How are you keeping yourself?
Yeah, good, thank you, brother. I'll get straight to it. So I think around 3 weeks ago, I asked you a question on the thing, and I just saw the response on YouTube. I think it was a couple of days ago, and I asked you the question regarding the Remember at the workplace, I was like,
Oh, yes.
my manager pays me less. So no, my manager, he like takes money off other people
Are
and pays
you
me.
now
And he said it.
are you now tuned in to us on ikra.tv?
Yeah.
That's fine.
No, I'm not, to be honest. No, because I'm out, brother. Because I was gonna ask you this, if it's possible to just send a call so I can hear the response.
Yeah, so what
And
we
just for
normally
this
do,
today.
just to let you know that what the procedure is that I say it on the monitor so everybody can hear, rather than be coming into a dialogue, because what it does then, it loses the kind of whole show kind of structure. But I will, as a second time, just let you off, second time and the last time.
Okay, thank you, brother.
After this,
No worries,
remember,
no worries,
all you got to do is just go on a phone, on an iPad or a laptop,
yeah.
ikra.tv. You don't even need to be inside the house, and then you'll be able to hear the answer. But this is the only occasion I'm doing that for you. So off you go, brother.
Okay, thank you, brother.
No problem at all.
My question was like a follow up. So yeah, I've told you like the manager like he takes money off whatever, but like I'm not sure if you knew that the man, this is like he's not the owner of the company. So like the owner of the company also hired the manager to take control of the job and like gave him a budget on to pay us and stuff like that. And I wanted just to follow up on that, if it's like still permissible type of thing for him to pay me like extra and stuff like that. Because like normally
if the manager has been given that license by the owner of the business to pay individuals as he sees fit, if he can decide whether he gives a slightly extra amount to one worker for whatever reason, maybe because he thinks he's worked that extra bit harder, maybe he's using more travel expenses, then that's fine. There's nothing wrong in that. If, however, the manager has not been given that permission and the manager is just doing that himself out of favoritism or whatever, then obviously that is wrong.
Yeah, because just to follow up quickly on that, because I'm not sure, to be honest, if the owner's given permission or not. Like, if I ask him, like, I don't know if he'll tell me type of thing. Because, like,
your job is to ask him, and if he gives you whatever answer he gives you, then you will go by that answer.
Yeah, because when he gives extra, it's not like he gives, like, for example, like he gives it to all the workers type of thing. You know, like it's like only like 20 quid extra a week type of thing.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. Even taking £1, which is haram, is haram. You know, even taking £1,000, which is haram. The quantity is irrelevant. It's the point that he's doing it. So all you do is ask him and say, "Oh, mashallah, I wasn't expecting this. I was expecting, £200. You've put in."
Because he's my uncle too, bro. That's why, like, the manager.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. So he might be doing that out of favoritism, which is why I just told you, nepotism. That's what's called nepotism, where your manager looks after his relatives and he doesn't look after non-relatives. Now that's wrong, because that's injustice. Why? He's only doing that because you're related to him. So that's why you need to ask the question that, are you permitted to give this for me? And if he says, yep, absolutely, I have license to give it depending on your work, and I believe you're working hard, then that's fine. That's on him then. It's not on you.
Yeah. Okay. And just to finish off, like, I wanted to ask you, just in case I don't have to call again or whatever. So basically, like, my job finishes like normally from 8 to 4. It's been this for like a year or so, whatever. But recently, because on construction, I don't know if you know, but like when people say it's 4 o'clock finish, everyone leaves at like 3:30, for example. Like, with the managers knowing, obviously, because no one does it sneakily. But now the manager's pushed up to 4:30. You've got to stay, whatever. But everyone leaves at 4 now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just always a half an hour push. Like, the managers, they always know about this, but like they don't really say nothing. They don't care too much. They just say this. So I just wanted to like follow up on that. Is this also permissible? Like, if he says it falls on 4:30, but everyone like literally on site leaves at 4, for example, with them knowing, obviously.
So if their arrangement is such that the normal working hours were 8 till 4, but what they realized is that people were leaving at 3:30, so in order to avoid that, they said now 8 till 4:30, knowing that people will leave at 4, then there's no harm in that.
4,
there's no harm in that.
Okay, thank you, brother.
No problem. Ameen. You take care. All the best. Okay. Salaam wa rahmatullahi. Okay, next caller who's called on 01274 214299. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum, brother. I can't hear you. Can you speak? There you go. I can hear you now. How are you, my brother?
Alhamdulillah. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Jazakumullah khair for asking.
Okay, brother. I've got a question.
Sure. Fire away, sir.
Basically, I work in a phone shop, and part of the job is that we have to sell insurance.
Okay. You work in what sort? Sorry, you work in a what sort of shop?
In a phone store.
A phone shop.
Yeah.
Okay.
And is it permissible for me to sell insurance with the phones?
Okay. Jazakumullah khair, my brother. I will answer now, inshallah. Okay.
Sure.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So our brother asked the question that he works in a phone shop, selling mobile phones, and also part of that is to sell insurance. He asks, is it permitted to sell insurance? He should not engage in selling insurance, because insurance itself is and when I say insurance, I'm talking about the normal standard high street insurance. The normal standard high street insurance, which has many, many problems with it, then he cannot obviously sell that, because according to us and according to Islam, that transaction is void and it is an impermissible transaction. So therefore, he would just sell the phone, and if the person asks, oh, by the way, can I have insurance? Then he can say, look, you can apply for insurance at this place or the other place. I personally don't provide it, and he can offer some link or say, go online and find that for yourself, rather than engaging in that particular transaction. Okay, Jazakumullah khair for those callers. We will carry on with some more questions that we have on this before we get on to the others. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mufti Sahib, is it permissible to go to the beach with family as a leisurely activity or as a day out, since it's inevitable that there will be non-mahram women and also men there who will be dressed in properly with their aura exposed? What if one intends to go there for the purpose of enjoying a day out and not to cast his glance at anything impermissible? But due to the nature of the environment, it will most definitely be challenging. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brother. The issue with these, well, not the issue, these type of questions are many, and you would have also heard on this particular forum and on Iqra TV and other forums, I've answered this question for different scenarios, whether it's working, whether it's leisurely activity, whether it's going shopping, whether it's going to the gym. Many people ask the question, we go to the gym, but there's music on. What can we do? We go to the gym. Sometimes if it's a man asking the question, we go to the gym, and sometimes women use the main facilities, and obviously their attire can be somewhat challenging in terms of what they're wearing. Obviously they don't cover their aura. We go to shopping in a supermarket, in a superstore, and there might be music over the tannoys, there might be alcohol being sold, وغيره وغيره. And these are the challenging times, and these are the challenging situations that we live in, particularly as a minority in Western countries. Having said that, it's also now becoming somewhat widespread, even in Muslim majority countries. So this is now a kind of global phenomenon. And it's very challenging for those of us who are trying to adhere to the Sharia in all aspects of our life. What I would say specifically with this question is, you try to book a slot or a space on the beach, or go to a beach which is a not so busy beach, a beach in which there is plenty of space to go into a corner, go to a separate area. Now I know friends, family, colleagues who go to the beach and do exactly that. I'm not kind of really a beach person. Whenever I've gone on holiday, we usually used to book out a log cabin, and in a nice kind of reservation or protected area like the Yorkshire Dales or the Peak District or something like that, in which it's very quiet. You can go for walks, there's a lot of privacy, and in some cases you actually find, I don't know which place we went to, I'm trying to remember where we went last year, there was actually a small beach there, and there was nobody there. But if you do go to the kind of Morecambes of the world and the Scarboroughs of the world and the beaches where you're going to get quite a lot of people, then it's going to be very challenging. So you have to pick your spot, you have to plan it. This is obviously you demonstrating your adherence to the Sharia. Allah is all watching, all seeing. The angels are writing. Allah knows our intentions. So yes, we want to take the family out somewhere. We want to go to relax somewhere. But at the same time, we're not forgetting the Sharia. The Sharia for us is primary, first and foremost. But we live in challenging times. And raising children in challenging times means that sometimes we have to venture into the grey area, even though we may not want to venture into the grey area, in order to avoid the black area. And that's something that we have to, as I call it, we have to take calculated risks. We cannot remove the risk completely. I have a background in science, and we used to carry out COSH procedures to make sure that any chemical that we were using in a particular chemical process, we would eliminate. But unfortunately, in most chemical process, you cannot eliminate that particular chemical. So we learn to deal with the hazard. And how do we deal with that hazard? This is the same now in the world we live in. It's near impossible to eliminate. Unless you're going to live in a madrasa all day, which alhamdulillah I've managed to do for 20 odd years, and you live in your cocoon, you live in your little cave. But as soon as you venture outside of that world, it's you have to engage in some way, shape or form. So as long as you take the necessary steps, you take the necessary precautions to avoid this, avoid that, avoid, and then you perchance happen to be there, and it so happens, you cast your glance away, you look away, and that's the best way to do that. As I said, then you will find that this can be circumvented because, we've been on holidays and we've been to a beach where, alhamdulillah, we've not had to, deal with these kind of situations. So it's about having a good time, and that can be achieved in many ways. But Jazakumullah khair for the question. Okay, next one. Assalamu alaikum. Why does Wifaq take moon sighting from abroad when it only creates further division and lends legitimacy to following Saudi? If we stick to sighting from UK, only the UK, then all of those who are against following Saudi can then unite. There doesn't seem to be any benefit from considering sighting from Morocco, South Africa, etc., other than causing further division and also giving legitimacy to those who follow the incorrect position of taking sighting from Saudi. Also, there's enough local sighting data available now to prove the excuse of UK's to as being completely unfounded. In our family, for example, almost everyone united in not following Saudi for their recent Eid. Alhamdulillah, it took a long time to convince everyone to get to this stage. But then half the family decided to follow Morocco and the other half follow the UK. Other families are going through the same dilemma. Some just fed up and go back to unity on Saudi. I would be grateful if you could point out the real need and benefit in taking sighting from board, which overweighs the harms of division that is clearly causing. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My brother, there seems to be some confusion in the question, and we talk of unity and then not talk of unity. But let me tackle each question. Why does Wifaq take moon sighting from abroad when it only creates further division? It does not create any further division. And if it was to create further division as a consequence, then that is not the aim of Wifaq. The aim of Wifaq is to bring unity. But we keep using this unity card. Unity is not on wrong. Unity is on what is correct. Okay? So the aim of Wifaq is not to cause disunity. The aim of Wifaq is not to cause further division, and far from it to give legitimacy to Saudi. So that paragraph I think I've dealt with quite clearly. If we stick to citing from only the UK, then all those who are against following Saudi can then unite. Not all of those who are against Saudi will unite. This is not an anti-Saudi brigade. This is a case of finding what is the sound methodology to apply. And therefore, we find, and when you're talking about only the UK, well, I've been involved in moon sighting for quite a while now, alhamdulillah. And I'm dealing directly with those individuals who are now professing and I will use only the UK, because Wifaq ulama also use UK, and then they go to abroad in the absence of UK. So this definition of only UK needs to be explored, and that is ongoing. There doesn't seem to be any benefit from considering sighting from Morocco, South Africa, other than causing further division and also giving legitimacy to those who follow the incorrect text. Absolutely not. There is absolute benefit in taking sighting from Morocco, South Africa. In fact, majority take sighting from Morocco or South Africa. So that is unity. It is now that we have a very, very, very small group of people who are pushing for, as we've mentioned, this so-called UK-only sighting, which hasn't been approved by any senior mufti or senior scholar in the UK. It is the senior muftis who are experts in the moon sighting that would have to declare that as a sound process. At the moment, it is in its research phase, and I am dealing directly with individuals who seem to portray themselves as leaders of this group. And that, I add, is now another group which has formed, which is causing further division, which I think this brother is trying to avoid. And also, there's enough local sighting data available now to prove the excuse of UK is too cloudy as being completely unfounded. Not necessarily so, because the one that you're just going to give an example for is that the sighting on Monday was achieved outside of the UK, but not achieved in the UK, and as a consequence, Eid was celebrated on Monday, and that was virtually the majority of the UK celebrated Eid on Monday. In fact, probably 99.9% of Muslims in the UK celebrated Eid on Monday. A very small percentage celebrated Eid on Tuesday. In fact, you could say it's negligible. So those who celebrated on Tuesday have actually stepped outside of the Jama'ah. And that answers your next two paragraphs. So I hope that has been crystal clear in explanation. in why things are the way they are. Jazakallah khair for your question anyway. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Unfortunately, we're getting a lot of, people who getting all excited, didn't know anything about moon sighting, didn't know anything about how the qadar system works, didn't know anything, and now suddenly, they've gone out to sight the moon a couple of months, and that's it. They're now become the world experts on it. I think if everybody stayed in their lane, there wouldn't be a mashup on the motorway. But when people in their little 1.0 minis want to race with the 5.5 litre turbo cars, then you get accidents. And that's exactly what's going to happen when people come out of their lane. So I hope that message is clear to everybody that, with etiquettes, we ask questions, and then obviously we don't do it in a provocative, in an aggressive, disrespectful way. On that slightly bitter note, we'll take a short break, but I'm sure I'll sweeten things up when you return in a few minutes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.